Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of your Brains Coach podcast. My name is Shurina, and I'm your host. I'm your Brains Coach, just someone with a lot of passion for helping you guys to learn all the brain tools you can use emerging from neuroscience labs and everywhere and anywhere in between around the world. All the brain tools you can use to feel, look, and do your absolute best. This is what this podcast is all about. Feeling, looking, doing your best. Because why not? This life is about experiencing the most we can possibly experience, right? Living it fully. Today I woke up and I'm like, something changed. I now feel like I'm fully alive. And, I'm quite enthusiastic about a lot of things if you've been on this podcast for a while. But today I woke up, it's like something changed. I feel so much more in life and the energy is limitless and it feels like things just flowing through me, for me, and I don't know. And I didn't take anything, so not sure what happened. Today, guys, is about motivation, is about this energy for life to pursue things. And most importantly, what a lot of you care about is motivation for doing the hard stuff. Because we can all be motivated to do the stuff that we like to do, that is easy to do, that brings us pleasure and joy. But motivation for hard things that you gotta do day after day after day, sometimes for years and decades, like how do you get there, right? Besides figuring out what goals will give you fun, not just having them, but also in the process of pursuing them, right? Besides this very important aspect, motivation, guys, yesterday I met up with a friend of mine, Ted Rice. He is an amazing coach. And when we get together with him, we always start talking about coaching and then our thoughts on different concepts. And yesterday he was helping me with figure out business stuff because he's better at that than I am. And we started talking about motivation at some point. And Ted asked me, like, what do you do, right, when your clients are not motivated? And I gave him all of my thinking that I've accumulated over more than 15 years of my coaching career. It even started early, in high school. I was always like coaching or organizing some groups to do something. But of course, over the years, I got more experience and now I got also more science about how motivation actually works and happens and why we have it sometimes, but not other times. And I was sharing that with that. So 2 things that will help you to improve and create motivation kind of synthetically, in the sense that you can actually right now create motivation for anything it is you want to do. Like, even if you don't want to do it, believe me, guys, you can create motivation even for that. I'm a live human being who is a proof of that. And I taught that a lot of my clients who got really great results. Mostly I, worked a lot with health, fitness, nutrition, and weight loss, fat loss, and fitness for athletes. But also right now, I'm getting more and more into performance coaching, right? Working with my first clients and about to sign up more to mentor, to help people. And motivation is a huge aspect of any goal, whether that's health or fitness or your business goals. So, growing your mission, creating an effective team that's going to build your vision and mission. So motivation is a huge factor of all of that. Motivation is everything. Without motivation, you will not get off the bat to even make a cup of coffee. They did the studies in mice, though, that they deleted this gene or somehow modified their brain, so their brain wasn't able to produce dopamine, the molecule that is flooding our brain when we are motivated, right? So the brain wasn't able to do that. And so without that crucial element, they didn't even eat food when the food was right there. Motivation is everything, it's the energy, released energy for pursuit. So 2 things that we talked about with that are very practical to you. Number 1, I said, well, motivation, Ted, I learned that it's all about emotional connection to your goal. In fact, after reading several books recently on neuroscience of performance, they even say it there that there is, really good research, and this is how it works in our brain. Emotion is a label or a bookmark telling your brain that this is important. What I mean by that? So what I mean by that is you will not achieve 100% guarantee, guys, you will not achieve a hard goal unless it is emotionally driven. Only things that are emotional are important. What's the difference between a goal that is, I'm going to have it someday and I must have it right now? What's the difference? No difference except for your emotion that you attach to it, your personal emotion. Because the same kind of thing can be reversed in the other person. They can be super non-emotional about your must-have and super emotional about, whatever, for you. So emotions tell your brain, your whole body, that this is important. This is what we need to dedicate attention and hard work and energy. This is what we need to invest into. And even when it gets hard, this is important. We are going after that, even if we have to spend a lot of resources upfront. Remember, if there is nothing more but this knowledge of you're not going to achieve any goal unless it's emotional. If there is nothing else you'll take away from this podcast, that please, guys, install it into your brain and repeat it until it becomes like ingrained, like a tattoo in your brain. Unless the goal is emotional, you will not achieve this hard goal. Never happened to anyone. How driven entrepreneurs achieve hard goals over decades of their life? They understand, they feel it in their gut, with their whole body, what they're going after. There is a very strong emotional connection. And it's the only thing that separates people like Elon Musk from the rest of the people, the strength of emotional connection to the hard goal. But here is a tricky part. It's not like you connected to it once and you can forget about it. If it's something that you're not naturally feeling emotional about, you gotta create this connection every single day. You gotta reinforce it whenever things get hard and you're losing, quote unquote, your motivation. What do I mean by that? I don't enjoy that much doing cold emails or cold calls. But at this point of my life, I understand that this is the way forward. This is how I'm going to connect to my new client base. This is how I'm going to connect to the people I want to serve. And if I don't do that, when I schedule it consistently with all my knowledge and all my emotion and all my commitment and motivation, right? With all this language, trying to put that into email, if I'm not pumped to do those cold emails, when I need to do it, when I schedule to do it, I'm not going to reach my goal. Now, every time when I sit down, I'm like, should I do it? You know, it doesn't seem like something I enjoy or something meaningful. But then I remember, why am I doing this? Angela, why are you doing this? And I remind myself, okay, I'm building this business. I'm building this mission because I want to help millions and billions of people to not struggle with things that I had to struggle with, right? It's very emotional. Besides that, I want to provide for my family, like my parents. I want to take them on nice vacations. I want to help my nephews, to get the best life experience and education as possible. Like, it is very emotional for me. And once I connect to that, I'm like, I'm going to make 100 emails happen today, and I'm going to be happy doing that. You can even probably hear emotions in my voice right now. So this is synthetically created motivation. By default, I am not that motivated about cold emails. This is the most boring shit I've ever did, to be honest. But once I connect to it emotionally, I understand why I'm doing it right now. I'm pumped about this process, right? I'm like, okay, let me read a book. Let me ask people, how can I do it better, right? So the purpose, the goal of this, me explaining to you is that there will be a lot of things on with your hard goals that you're not going to be by default, naturally be enjoy. Like maybe you want to get into the best shape of your life, but you're not that motivated about fitness. What do you do about that, right? Like I love working out, Ted also, the friend, the coach I told you about also loves that. So, on some days we don't feel like it, but we do it. It's a habit. We kind of enjoy it. But anyhow, if you're not motivated for fitness, so connect it to something that is meaningful to you. Why do you want to get in the best shape of your life? Like, what is it? get in the shape or shape in the best shape of your life just for the sake of it, for the look in your mirror that you're gonna catch a few times, maybe a couple of compliments. Like, that is usually not the most meaningful thing for a lot of people. But maybe for you, it is about being able to play with your kids when you're older. Maybe getting the best date that you're super passionate about. Maybe you're in love, you want to get that. Or maybe it will allow you to feel really confident in your skin pursuing your other goals, right? What is it? What's emotional about your goal? Just remember that. You will not achieve any hard goal unless it is emotional. And it's like with shower, you don't get the effect to last unless you take it daily. You don't take shower once and expect it to last forever. So the same with motivation, you gotta take it daily. And how do you do that? When things get hard, but you know you gotta do them, what you do, you connect to your emotional label of that goal, of that pursuit. Why are you doing this? Why do you need to do that? Do you need to do that? Maybe it's not a good idea in the first place, right? But if this is what you decided to do, and it's a hard thing for you, and you feel like you're losing motivation, what you need to do is connect it back to that emotional goal. Write it down. Why you do what you do. What's important to you emotionally. Again, you gotta feel the emotion. It's the only differentiator, the only one, guys, in your brain between goals like, whatever. If I lose it, I'm not gonna be upset about that. And I must have this in my life. Emotion is the only differentiator. It's the only thing that your brain uses to make a decision. Am I going to dedicate resources to that, or am I going to quit? It's not that important, right? So emotional connection. And remember, guys, you're not going to have natural motivation and emotional connection built in for a lot of things. But so you have to build it yourself. You have to build this pathway between cold emails and the goal of helping millions and billions of people and helping them not to struggle as I did, right? So build that connection every time something feels hard. And the second aspect of motivation that we touched upon with Ted yesterday. Let me look at my notes here. And I remember that the second thing I wanted to share with you about motivation was this little hack that you can use to increase motivation when the goals are long term, right? The goals are far away. Sometimes you have mission and vision that is like 10, 20 years ago, and you're not really sure when exactly you're going to create this outcome, right? For example, helping millions of people. You cannot really guarantee it in like so many years, I'm going to be able to achieve that goal. But how will you keep yourself going and motivated? And here is a neat hack that been shown in neuroscience works for all mammals. So to increase motivation right now for a long-term goal, for any goal actually, if you want to increase motivation right now, you want to make the goal closer. Now, in mice, what they did is when they measured that when the food reward was closer, the mice would work harder to get through the maze or something like that, right? They learned that mice brain releases more dopamine, that is the molecular motivation that I mentioned already, that, in the brain to create the state of motivation, to release energy to pursue something, energy for action, dopamine has to be released. And so more of it is released when the brain realizes that the goal is closer, we are about to get the reward. Now, the problem with 10, 20, 30-year vision is that, well, the goal is not close, right? So your brain might not be that motivated to release all the resources right now. So your motivation literally going to be lower. So what is a workaround that? The workaround is to break down your big goal into smaller milestones and have something you are looking forward to accomplish almost every day. And you gotta celebrate that, because celebration also chills, kind of like shouts at your brain, this is rewarding. We got some result. We got good feedback. We are moving closer. Our brain, like human brain, is very, like it's easy to talk to your brain and change your mind, guys. You just never tried it. You kind of assume that your thoughts just come to you. No, you can actually design that. So, for example, my 10-year goal is to help 1 million people by, creating content and coaching and doing retreats, etc. Help 1 million people to learn how to use their brain effectively. Okay, so this is a big goal, and also like I can't really plan it that way. But what can I do today? What can I celebrate today? What kind of result can I be achieving so I have more dopamine and I get rewarded at the end of the day, and so I have more motivation, more energy, and I'm better at anything that I do. The more dopamine, guys, we have, the more motivation we have, the better we are at anything that we choose to do, right? That's why it's important to have higher levels of dopamine or motivation for doing any kind of task, whether that's work or learning. So what can I do today? I have a plan to reach out to 50 people. And that will move me closer toward finding the clients that I'm going to serve, clients that will tell other people about my work, clients or people who can have different connections to release a best-selling book with the best, publishing house that has the possibility to spread this book, this knowledge to, a lot of people. Maybe I'll find partners for the app that I want to create by the end of my 35th year of this life, right? So I'm thinking about all of that, and all of that starts with reaching out to as many people as possible in a way that I found the most useful and effective at this moment. So I have this goal, reach out to 50 people, right? And by the end of the day, I'm going to be celebrating the accomplishment of this goal, because it's hard, it's boring, but I'm going to do that, right? And I'm going to celebrate, do a little dance at the end of the day. And you'll think, well, it's not really, an indication that you're necessarily going to achieve your goal in 10 years. But the brain isn't that smart, in the sense that whatever you're celebrating and you make yourself feel really good about, your brain will think, well, we are making progress. It's good momentum. We are moving forward. So let's release the dopamine, release that motivation, and let's keep going. The brain is kind of like silly in that way. You can talk to your brain about anything and increase motivation, decrease motivation, make yourself fearful, anxious, or make yourself confident. Self-talk is a very, 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 very powerful tool when supported by the emotional states that you also create. Emotions is stories. Emotions are about self-talk. It's not really something objective in most cases, even though they're also affected by our internal states. But that's, a theme for another podcast. So let's recap. Motivation. What is motivation? It's an emotionally charged goal. It's the energy to pursue that goal. Without emotion, guys, you will not achieve any hard goal. The only differentiator between the goal that is, whatever, and the goal that I must have right now, the only differentiator is your emotion, your personal emotion. When you don't have the emotion for doing, let's say, cold emails or going to the gym or eating healthy, create that emotion. Why is that important to you? Why the F do you care, right? You want to be emotional. Understand this. Without emotions, you will not achieve any hard goal. This is number one. Create that emotional connection. Number two, just like shower, it's only going to have effect if you take it daily. So whenever it's getting hard, whenever you're losing your motivation, what do? Connect to that emotional goal again and again and again. Write this emotional vision goal down, take it out and look at it, put it on your wall, whatever it takes. The more you do it, the less you will need to do this connection and self-talk. It's going to be already there. It's like any habit. You repeat, and then it's going to become almost automatic, right? So you gotta connect daily and whenever you need it, sometimes several times per day. If you're starting out with the emotional center, emotionally charged goal, that will explain why you are about to do what you are not that enthusiastic about. And number three, break down your bigger goals into smaller chunks and get emotional about those smaller chunks and celebrate. And celebration is not about giving yourself a thing. Celebration is about creating a feeling of accomplishment. Again, it's back to emotion. It has nothing to do with money, food, spa visits, or anything like that. The reward in your brain is the emotion of feeling good, accomplished. And you can create that emotion at any time. And that's it, guys. I hope you found this episode very useful. It's based on the leading edge, current understanding of the way our brain works, right? So leading edge neuroscience research, all the book that just came out and all the, research that is coming out that I'm reading all the time. Every day I read like 3-4 studies about different things. Sometimes they mean something, sometimes not so much. They're just fun things for scientists to do. But understand that the tools that I gave to you today, they work for every single human being. They are scalable. They're going to work for you. If you have questions, I always give you an opportunity to book a free call. The link is in the show notes. Please reach out. Also, you can reach out via email, angela@brainbreakthroughcoach.com. I can walk you through personally real quick and answer all of your questions about this. But this is what works. If you're someone who's struggling with motivation for the things that are important to you, do this process, reach out with questions. If you found it useful, please let me know. I always love hearing that. Also teach, share it to your kids, to your spouses, to your friends. It works. If somebody in your circle is struggling with getting motivation to get consistent action steps in, share that. Teach them, learn together. It's a very powerful tool. And, that's why I'm motivated for almost anything. You give me like literally anything, I'll find a way to get myself motivated. Once you get the skill, it's like, what the F, I have energy for everything. Just need to make sure I sleep, eat, and recover properly. The rest is not a problem. And no mountain is too high, right? So get yourself motivated, get people around you motivated, and there is nothing that you cannot achieve. And on that note, guys, have an awesome weekend, and don't forget to tune in on Monday because we're going to have some awesome and fascinating guests with, again, cutting edge information that you will not most probably find anywhere else. Have an awesome weekend, and you'll hear from me very soon.